Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock Battersworth Peter Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do me a favor, if you were there on Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the Matt Moscone YouTube. We got right there in the headline that the Saints have signed safety Marcus Maye. They have agreed to terms, I should say, with safety Marcus Maye. So, Marcus Maye, 3-year, $28.5 million contract with the Saints. If you recall, has Marcus Williams has signed with has agreed to sign with the Baltimore Ravens. So 5 years, $70 million for Marcus Williams. So the Saints go grab Marcus Maye, 3-year, $28.5 million. More cost effective, certainly. But you're also talking about a guy, interestingly enough, who came into the NFL the same year as Marcus Williams. They're both drafted in 2017. And both were second-round picks, incidentally. But the oddity is that Marcus Williams is just 25 years old. He's going to be 26 in September. Marcus Maye's already 29. He turned 29 earlier this month. So they're 3 years apart. Marcus Maye's 3 years older than Marcus Williams, although they came into the league at the same time. And Maye has been decidedly less durable. In his 5 seasons, in 3 of those seasons, he played in all 16 games. The other 2 seasons, he played in 6 games. Only 6 career interceptions, so not really the ball hawk. Of course, remember Marcus Maye from his time at Florida. A little disappointing. I really thought the Saints would be able to make a hard charge for Tyrann Mathieu, and granted, I am impossibly biased, but I was really hoping that Tyrann Mathieu would be the choice there at safety. And I thought they could get him for a similar deal that Marcus Maye signed. But Marcus Maye will replace Marcus Williams, 3-year, $28.5 million. Again, if there is a good thing there, it's that in not signing Marcus Williams, you do leave yourself some cap space and wiggle room that you can re-sign Teron Armstead. And the word yesterday was that Teron Armstead was waiting to hear what happens with Deshaun Watson, because if you re-sign Deshaun Watson, Armstead's likely back in New Orleans as well. So that's the good news there. So today's a big day. 3 o'clock Central Time is when the league year officially begins. That's when free agents can officially sign with their new teams, and we could have a decision from Deshaun Watson and the Texans today on where he'll be traded. So could be a massively significant day for the Saints. We could learn that they've landed Deshaun Watson, which would be just massive. All right, we'll say some good mornings here in a quick second. LSU baseball beats Tulane 7-5 last night. It didn't need to be that close. Tulane got up 2-0. Tigers rally 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, in the sixth. They're up 6-2. And then there's 2 on for Tulane in the 7th, and Sam Dutton was on the mound. After Bryce Collins had put a couple of runners on, and Dutton looks like he got him out of it. Fly ball to left field, and Gavin Dugas dropped it. Hit him in the glove, just dropped it. Cruz was coming over from center, and either guy could have had it, and I guess it was just one of those sort of brief moments of indecision, and it hit Dugas in the glove, and he dropped it. So 2 runs scored to make it 6-4. But the Tigers came back after Tulane got another run in the 8th. LSU scored a run in the bottom of the 8th to make it 7-5, and it looked like they had another run, but they called they had Will Safford pinch running, and he was tagging up, and it looked like I'm sorry, it was a single from Trey Morgan. It looked like he had scored. They ruled him safe, went to review, ruled him out at the plate. Terrible call, but to overturn it. But still, the Tigers were able to finish it off, and Devin Fontenot pitched the last inning in 2/3, was awesome. Looked like himself. So, that's that. I mean, when Jay Johnson has talked about Fontenot, and we talked so much earlier this year in the offseason about, is Fontenot going to be a Friday night guy, a starter? Jay Johnson has talked about having Devin Fontenot in sort of high leverage situations because he's an experienced guy who's been in those situations. And last night was an example of that. He came in, pitched an inning in 2/3, gave up just one hit, struck out one, walked one, but he managed to get LSU through the final inning in 2/3 when it was tight. So good to see a nice win for LSU last night. And they welcome in A&M to start conference play on Friday. All right, let's say some good mornings here. Tim Gotro, Trivia Carter, Brad Johnson, Shane O'Mac, Brian Penton. Good morning from Fort Payne, Alabama. Cliff Nelson, Wendell Norman, good morning. Jesse Brown, from one Marcus to another. And we re-signed Roby. Think we did well. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, I like having Bradley Roby. There was just no way he was going to be on the roster under the contract he had last year, especially with the emergence of Paulson Adebo. I think Roby was set to make $10 million with none of it guaranteed. So we'll see how that's structured. I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't seen how they're going to structure the contract. But okay, so they reworked it. So with the extension, so I like it. I mean, I like having Lattimore, Adebo, Roby as your top three cornerbacks. And remember, it's possible that C.J. Gardner-Johnson could be involved in some type of trade for Deshaun Watson. If that's the case, you have a guy there that could sort of be in that nickel safety role. That's the other thing I'd point out as well is even with the signing of Marcus Maye, I wouldn't completely rule out Tyrann Mathieu because if you do lose Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in a trade for Deshaun Watson, Mathieu could be that nickel safety role as well. Kelly Presley, good morning. Jeff McKithen, Shelby Kelly. No Tyrann, I guess. Would love to get Jarvis and Watson, though. Yeah, Saints are very much in it for Jarvis Landry. It looks like Saints and Chiefs. Deshaun Watson, I've yet to have anybody provide me an example of a guy who is in a quarterback the caliber of Deshaun Watson in their prime at 26 years old who was traded. I mean, there have been examples of guys, great quarterbacks later in their career who moved teams. Tom Brady, and went on to win. Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Kurt Warner, Russell Wilson, Peyton Manning, but not at 26 years old. I mean, it's so hard to find an elite quarterback that when you get one, you hold on to him. So, man, if you can get Deshaun Watson, whew. Dustin Johnson, morning Matt, General Wade, crying face emojis, hashtag win for Wade. Y'all saw a lot of the guys yesterday at their practice were talking about Will Wade. I hope they're in the right mindset to go win a few. Josh Bergeron, Samuel Merrifield. What percent of weather Sammy at land Watson? Sorry, man. I don't know what you're asking. Chuck Sanchez. What's up, Chuck? Good morning. Get it? Up, Chuck? I screwed it up. Well, let's do it again. Chuck Sanchez. What's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? Debbie Jenkins. Shelby. Also, I think it's great. Mike Thomas is one of the primary recruiters for Watson. Very true. If y'all missed that story, Jeff Duncan had it. Michael Thomas has been one of the primary recruiters for Deshaun Watson, trying to get him to New Orleans. And from the national media types who cover such things, they seem to think the Saints are the front runner. I want to remind you again that that Deshaun Watson has a no-trade clause. So he don't have to go nowhere if he don't want to. So there have to be two forces at work. Number one, Watson has to okay a trade to a certain team, and that team has to give an agreeable package to Houston for Deshaun Watson. So, who's got that combination of best package available for the Texans and the place that Deshaun Watson wants to go? Hey, Deborah Coward, good morning. Josh Bergeron, who's your final four picks? Haven't done my bracket yet, Josh. I'll do it today. Mama Scone today on AFR. So I better have my picks for today. Ryan Amanda Guidry, Kenny Fontenot, good morning. Thoughts on the LSU baseball lineup? Yeah, man. I like it. The big changes last night, I mean, I guess they did it on Sunday too, but Travinsky called on Saturday, and then obviously Gio played right on Sunday. But Gio and right, Barry at third, Travinsky behind the dish is how they lined it up last night, and I like it. A little bit of a rough night for Dylan Cruz last night, 0 for 3, but those won't happen often. Same with Barry, he was 0 for 4, so the two of them went 0 for 7 combined. But Trey Morgan was 2 for 4. Heck, Doty was 0 for 2. Doty was 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. So not a great night for the top of your lineup. You got the production more out of the bottom. Thompson was 2 for 4. Gio was 2 for 4. Dugas was 1 for 1. Walked 3 times. And look at the box score right now. So Travinsky was 0 for 2, but had a walk. Yeah, I like it. There was also, and look, here's the other thing too. With Gio and Wright, and Gio made a beautiful play early in the game in foul territory, moving to his left. That I don't know that Barry makes that play. And then Barry made a play at third, hard hit ground ball. It was maybe in the second or third inning. Hard hit ground ball to the left side. Barry charges, ranging to his left, scoops the ball, reestablishes, makes a hard throw, gets a guy by a half step. Like he's obviously more comfortable at third base. Play the kid at third base. Merrifield's a nice backup option there when you need it, but he hasn't been so outstanding that you can't justify having him out of the lineup. Gio and Wright, Barry at third, I think is how they got to proceed this weekend. All right. Patrick Burglass, LSU Terroir, good morning to you and your beautiful family. So excited spring football starts next week. Getting there, man. Jason Horn, Brian Broom, Rode Yule, good morning. Watson going to Cleveland. It's really hard for me to see that. I mean, unless if Cleveland wants to trade Baker as part of the package, which I don't think they would mind doing, which could give Houston their starting quarterback if they're not sold on Davis Mills. But does Houston want to trade Deshaun Watson within the AFC? There's also talk that Watson would prefer to go to the NFC because the AFC is so quarterback loaded. So, I don't know, man. I'm not sure that I'm buying Cleveland. Garland Harold, more from California. John Emery officially back. That's been a thing, man. He's been officially back, yeah. Moving quickly here. As always, shout out to Brock, y'all, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Maybe some of you heard or saw on Facebook, we spent a chunk of our day yesterday at Brock. Drew does, in fact, have a broken arm. If y'all were here yesterday, talked about how we had to get him to the doctor. He has a broken humerus bone. So that's the bone between your elbow and your shoulder. So it's right here on the top part of the arm. So he was on the playground at St. Lillian. The kid kind of was coming down some stairs and ran over him. He took a hard fall. And so they took x-rays yesterday. So broken humerus bone. So we got to go see Dr. Brad Collada yesterday at Brock. So Drew's going to be in a little brace for his arm for the next 4 weeks. But anyway, so yes, I tell you all the time, pediatrics, we've taken advantage of it. So Brock, great people, brortho.com. And of course, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Y'all look ahead to the nasty weather coming through. Thunderstorms, hail in the forecast. It's that season. If you see hail fall at your home, call us. Hail damage, do not let that go unchecked. Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Keith H. Morning, Matt. You look like a beast on the table, feeling good, looking good. You talking about Crystal Poche? Yes, I posted a time lapse video of my session with Crystal Poche from Restored Motions. If you got pain, go see Crystal Poche at Restored Motions. She will bring you out of it. Tim Gotro, have you heard if anyone's interested in Armstead? Seems like his name isn't coming up much in free agent rumor mill. I mean, he's the number one tackle available in a year where there is a dearth of available tackles. Did you hear Marcus Maye's name involved with the Saints before last night when the deal got done? Sometimes you just don't know. Kyle Milliken, Matt, how'd you feel if the Saints get Watson after these what are now just allegations? I have mixed emotions on it. I have no problem with it at all, Kyle. A grand jury failed to indict him. I'll say it again. That means they didn't even think there was sufficient evidence to bring it to trial, to bring it before a judge. Like, if all you have is he said, she said, remember, we live in a country where there is a presumption of innocence. Stop convicting people in the media. You are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Duke lacrosse, anyone? I mean, come on. There's no mixed emotions. You got mixed emotions about Carl Granderson being on your team. He actually did have sexual assault violations. It's on your team. You got mixed emotions about it? Rapping Batches, good morning. Bryce from Carolina, good morning. Are you and T-Bob friends? I stumbled across one of your videos debating Ogeron. It seemed a little heated. Yeah, we're friends. We're fine. We have very opposite views on that situation. He defends Ogeron because Ogeron came on a show every Tuesday. I call a spade and look at the guy who left this program in ruin. Spurge, what's up? Jesse Brown, Panthers fans are fair weather. Ownership is a joke. I hope Watson makes the right choice and picks New Orleans. Cajunomics, good morning. Joseph Falgraff, thank you. Jesse Brown, Hunter Fournette, thank you. All the prayers for Drew. Brandon, appreciate it. Matt, did you see Jordy's explanation on Will Wade's violations? If you did, what's your thoughts? I did not see Jordy's explanation. And I don't mean Jordy and I are friends, but y'all, Jordy and Will Wade are boys. I mean, of course he's going to go to bat for his guy. I don't know what he said. Send me a video. Maybe I'll watch it. Probably not, though, honestly. But, like, of course he's going to go to bat for his boy. Okay, that's fine. You can't forget the fact that Will Wade's on a federal wiretap. And I've heard Will Wade's explanation of some of the allegations that could be disputed. But LSU's not walking that road, obviously. Let's see, 7:48. All right, I gotta go, because it takes a little longer now to get Drew ready because of the arm brace and all that sort of stuff. So let me do a couple more minutes here. Devin Kelly, good morning. Hoping win the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes today. Amen. Randy Dabdoob, I don't think Cooper had one good showing yet. Yeah, here's the tough part, Randy. So you're talking about Riley Cooper. He only went a third of an inning last night. Gave up a hit, a run. He's the only left-handed pitcher right now you can count on with Javen Coleman injured. So you got to get something out of your lefties. And Cooper right now is an experienced guy, and transfer from Southeastern. I'm blanking. Sorry, but those two right now are your options. So you gotta find a lefty you can count on in some situation. Trey Varnado, after a couple of Sam Dutton outings, I'd like to see him get a chance to start a weekend game. See, here's the thing, Trey. I don't think you give someone a chance, right? And to say he'd be more competitive than Floyd, you say that after Floyd just went 6 innings and had a career-high strikeout in strikeouts. And Jay Johnson said it, he's right, that if you go back to the Texas game, Ty Floyd was really competitive. And that game probably looks a lot different, but for the throwing error. There was like a swinging bunt where Floyd threw it away down the right field line, and that's how Texas got on the board. So without that error, that game probably looks a lot differently. And I get it happened, but I can coach that out of a player. And I like Floyd Hilliard in their roles if you're going to go money Floyd Hilliard. And I like Dutton having a key role out of the bullpen. And he will be a weekend starter. Don't get me wrong, I like Sam Dutton as well a lot. Dutton reminds me of what we thought of Coleman and Floyd last year. Freshmen who have really, really good stuff that you could tell are going to be weekend guys in the SEC. Glenn Thomasy, yeah, Andrew Whitworth, amazing career. Talked about it yesterday in AFR. Hope he's destined for the Hall of Fame. He's going to have an uphill climb, though, just because of the general lack of accolades in his career. But longevity, Super Bowl champion, multi-pay man of the year, awesome dude. Definitely pulling for him. Kenneth Westbrook, Jason Austin, Samuel Merrifield. Oh, Saints land Watson, the percent chance. I will say 60% chance that the Saints land Deshaun Watson. Watson could make a decision as early as today. Matt, what do you think of Iowa's chances in the tournament? Virginia Tech, Murray State. A lot of people think Iowa is a sneaky sleeper team to make a Final Four run. I think that's a little bit of recency bias because of the run they just made the Big Ten tournament. But I do like the Big Ten. I mean, I think the Big Ten's got some really good teams. Matt, what do you know about Wade's VCU extortion matter? His text messages. That's what I was told. Was that the extortion, blackmail, whichever it is, was from his time at VCU. Believe what you want. It doesn't matter. He's fired. It doesn't matter. He's fired. LSU's moving on. We can debate the merits of what happened or what is alleged to have happened. It just doesn't matter. Like, the man got fired. It's over. I mean, I've heard the Wade explanation of several of the charges, and maybe LSU could have gone, but they didn't have any interest in fighting it. They didn't, so they fired him. Like, that part's over. Jeff Stipe. I ran into Blake Money at Whataburger last night. Said he wasn't pitching on Friday. There it is, Jeff. I'm not doubting you, by the way. But I'm probably going to wait another 24 hours or 36 hours till we could hear it maybe officially. But yeah, I wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they shelved him this week. That looked bad last Friday, man. That looked really bad. I wonder if Roby was re-signed because Lattimore is part of the Watson trade. No, he's not, Blaine Smith. You got to keep in mind. I want to remind y'all of this, okay? You got to look at contracts, okay? Lattimore, when they restructured Lattimore now carries a dead cap figure of, it's 7:53. I really got to go. I'm going to do this and I got to go. Come on, load. Load. Thank you, Jesus. So Lattimore carries, with restructuring his deal, Lattimore carries a cap hit this year of $8.9 million. His dead cap number, meaning if Lattimore is not on the Saints roster, he will count $40 million against the cap. Next year, his dead cap number is $31 million. That means if he's not on the cap, on the roster, he counts that much against the cap. There is no way, none, that the Saints trade Lattimore. Like, you can look at the Saints roster and tell who is not a trade candidate. And you have to look at who has agreeable contracts with small dead cap numbers like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Eric McCoy, Marcus Davenport. If you wanted to trade one of the like Paulson Adebo, Taysom Hill, but like those are your options if you're trading players. It will not be Lattimore, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Ryan Ramchick. It's not going to be any of those guys. There's the way their contracts are structured. It would be debilitating to the Saints to to trade one of those guys. Okay, all right, y'all. We're done. I got to get going because I got to get him up and ready and out to school. So y'all have a great day. Thanks as always. I will have LSU Daily today. Intended to have it yesterday, but ended up spending half the day at the hospital or at the doctor with Drew. So LSU Daily, AFR 3, brought to you by Brock. Hudco, you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. We were there yesterday, obviously, with Drew. And Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, y'all have a magnificent day. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of each other. We'll see you tonight for Nightcap with Scone. Peace.